All right, cool. We're live. I'm gonna give it a minute for some people to join on.
Okay, cool. So where all is this streaming at right now? Just here?
Just the Facebook group, and then I'll probably reshare it later here in a minute.
Got you. But this is the software that can go on like YouTube and multiple things, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, and I have it streaming to YouTube as well. So
Oh,
I get
okay.
I get a few viewers over there. So if you guys are checking in from YouTube, what's up? What's up? But yeah, I'm gonna give it just a minute, and then we'll get into it, bro.
All right. I'm feeling that hat, man. That's a new one or
Yeah, bro, I brought like 3 colors, bro. They're like $4 at Bass Pro. Just nice.
like from the source, the direct source.
Yeah, bro. Straight from the source. Always direct to seller, bro.
Yeah. That's the one off of I-10, right? Like that super, super big one by Katie Mills, right? Or something?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that thing.
Yeah. But dope. All right, cool. So we got a few people. If you guys don't know, I'm here with my business partner, Mr. Benjamin. We've been working together for two, maybe even 3 years now. It's been a while, bro.
We need to do the math. Like we need to pen to paper and find out how long we've known each other, all that shit.
Yeah, I was looking on Facebook, and I think I still have the original message, bro, which we can talk about that in a minute. But for people who don't know, who you are, which I doubt they don't. But if they don't, can you do a brief introduction of who you are, and then we can get into your story a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll summarize my life real quick. So basically born and raised here in Houston, Texas. Got a wife. I'm a family man, wife and kids. Went to college. I went the traditional route, in my early years of life and everything. Went to school for baseball. Never really thought about real estate at all until probably like 2 or 3 years after I graduated. And that was only because my dad was buying vacant lots and literally just selling them to individuals, like owner financing them, basically. Like he was doing that while I was in elementary and high school and college. I didn't really pay any mind to it at all till I started seeing him and going with him, picking up money monthly from these individuals. And then all of a sudden I went down there the first Tuesday of the month with him and I got a property for $3,000 and I turned around and sold it for 10 on a note. And that note, they literally put 500 down and paid me $300 a month for like 2.5, 3 years. So I rinsed and repeated that like 3 or 4 times. And I guess that's where I got the bug, that's where I got proof that real estate is real and you can definitely make money creatively. And then after that, so let me back up. I regret all that. I wish I would have kept all these lots because I had them dirt cheap. Like seriously, I really regret that. But it's cool. I learned about money management. I learned about everything, dealing with buyers and all that stuff. And then a couple of years passed after that. I was working the corporate job. Didn't really have any goals or anything. And I don't know how I stumbled into wholesaling. Like, bigger pockets, of course. That's everybody falls into the trap of bigger pockets somehow. So I started just browsing through there, just asking dumbass questions on these forums, but learning a lot, like in the middle of the night while everybody was asleep. And I don't know how I stumbled on wholesaling. Somehow I found it, started marketing. I did bandit signs for a little bit, did direct mail for a little bit, door knocked for one day. That wasn't for me at all. I finally got my first deal after about 8 months, made $250. That's where I really realized it was real. But honestly, man, even after I got that first deal, I wasn't consistent or anything. I was like marketing until I got a deal. I turned the leads off, the marketing channel off, and just worked on that one deal, So I was sporadically getting deals here and there until I came across this guy named Derek,
Right.
who in my DMs asked him for bandit signs. And since then, after that message, I was still working and you were basically my boots on the ground for the deals that I was getting and everything. So then we realized, we meshed here we are now.
Yeah, right. Which is crazy to think about. And when you were buying those lots, those were your very first deals, like intro into real estate was buying that lot.
Legit.
How old were you then?
So I graduated college. It was 2 or 3 years after that. So I was like 22, 23 or something. And it was just saved up for my like tax returns, just random. I had a little savings account. And yeah, every time I went to the auction with my dad, I just withdrew thousands of dollars, like $5,000 on average usually. And I just tried to get lucky. And then the second time, actually, I did get lucky. And like I said, I got it for 3,000, turned around and sold it for 10 and everything.
So
Yeah.
from that gap from there until you really found out about wholesaling, how many years was that? Or was that like same year or what?
For wholesaling specifically, no, it was probably a couple years after, bro. Because after I bought like 3 or 4 lots, like they ran out. Like eventually, the buyers satisfied the balance, and then I was out. Like nothing happened, And then that's when I was still working a corporate job, just browsing bigger pockets, and came across wholesaling. So I would say 3 to 4 years ish.
Got you. And when you went down the rabbit hole, because I was talking to Jay about this today, just about like finding real estate, because everybody's journey is different, and it's unique how we find out about it. But like, what were your first impressions on wholesaling? Like, because I know for me, like I told you, I didn't even think it was like legal, bro. Like, I'm like, there is no way this is legal.
Yeah. I didn't understand it at all. Like I was stuck, like just trying to figure out how are people buying all these properties with so much cash? How are they paying cash? Like I didn't get it at all that you're literally just changing and assigning your rights like a piece of paper. It's like so simple. Yet being a newbie, you don't understand anything. So yeah, I was just reading everybody's posts, everybody's horror stories about just the negativity about wholesaling. And for some reason, I gravitated towards it and just started trying to market with random.
I'll ask you, because like now that we've been doing this a while, what do you think? Like, why were people so negative against it, and why do you think that you still kept going even though they were so negative?
I think the main reason why people were negative against it, because unfortunately, people don't see wholesalers as investors, so all these old heads on bigger pockets are always talking down on wholesalers, shooting out properties at unbelievable prices and everything. So automatically there's a bad stigma about it. And I get it. There are a lot of shitheads, excuse my language, that try to wholesale and do it improperly. We come across them every day,
Very much so.
But for some reason, I just looked past all that, and I felt like that was the easiest way to get into real estate. I think that was the main reason, well, they say no money, but you need a little money just to get a few systems going. But yeah, I feel like that's the main reason why I got in, because I was broke. Like I was literally making like net bringing home probably like $27,000 a year. Like
yeah. Yeah. And bro, me, same. Like I may have made 35 on a good year, right? Yeah. So like I know the feeling. And like it's just crazy, because I agree, right? Like when I found out about it, it was so amazing, but then you get all the negativity, then you second guess and then I feel like we overthink it, because it's like it's a simple process, but the hard part is really finding the house, right? And then working through the deal, right? And like you said, a lot of people just see crappy wholesalers that throw up ridiculous prices, and they never take care of people. They back out of deals all the time. So there is like a bad stigma, which is, I think when we met, that's something like, morality and, how we think about humans is just different than most people. And there's other people in Houston that definitely do. But, just a lot of wholesalers, I view it as, you're really messing with somebody's life, and we're here to make it better. And if you do it right, you can make a lot of money doing it, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely, once you get a property under contract, these people, they're relying on you to solve their problem. Like literally, we're their last resort. That's why they're considered a motivated fucking seller. You know what I mean? So if you don't take it serious, if you don't make it your priority to solve that problem, then you're going to be looked at as a dirty ass wholesaler, and you're not going to be successful at all. So And I just want to say, with my very first deal, I kind of got lucky now that I think about it, because I had this title company, North Star Title Company. And luckily, I was straight up with her. I told her, hey, I've never wholesaled a property. I've never signed anything. Luckily, Miss Jasmine, she and Maria Cruz, she walked me through the entire process, like told me exactly what to do, told me how to get an assignment contract signed and everything. I remember I had to scan it with my phone, the assignment contract, and it went to her blurry as shit. So she went through and she created like her own, she recreated it basically in her like little clip art or something and sent it back to me. It was a mess, but I got through, made $250 and survived my first deal.
But like that's just so funny though, because I think luck finds us, right? When you take action, like how these things work out. Like I know we were talking about this with Steven, and like some of the stuff can't be explained and it doesn't need to be, but like with him, he was doing all this marketing and then he gets a really good deal from a bandit sign, which is rare in Houston, right? Correct. But it's like if you put that energy out there and then you take action to back it, you don't need to understand, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't understand how it works, but you don't need to. You just know that it works because we get deals from all over the place, right? Like we never know where the deal is coming from.
Super random, out of the fucking blue. It just proves. I mean, just taking imperfect action. I mean, it's gonna. If you're consistent, if you have faith and you believe in yourself and what you're doing, something's gonna pop off. You know, so just keep on going, and it's gonna work out for sure.
And then after that first deal, until we met, right? How many deals or wholesales did you do after that?
Honestly, man, I would probably say like 5 or 6 ish or so. And a lot of those, bro, and you already know, a lot of those, like I was so new to the game that I wish I would have kept or figured them out somehow. Like I would be on cloud 9 right now if I did, but it was a learning lesson. You know, I learned a lot. That's all I got to say with those first couple deals or whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I, you know, you already know my first couple years was a struggle as well. And you know, we always laugh because you didn't know that like the first deal we ever did together was the first one that I'd ever done.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
And, you know, I think, you know, we had a couple hiccups, but it was a fairly easy deal. But I think, you know, you don't really understand real estate until you take a contract from the seller signing to the closing table.
Correct.
And there's so many things that can go wrong in between, even from getting, you know, the contract signed, that it's like could throw a deal because there's so many people involved. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's why it's so important just for people to understand that you don't have to know the entire process. You know, if you just know how to take that first step, get your foot in the door, you're gonna figure it out. You know, learn it, take a step, learn it, take a step. And once you go through that process one time, boom, you fucking got it. Like literally, like it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders after that very first deal. Like just all the confidence in the world, like I can do this. It's just black and white. It's just a transaction, you know? Yeah, it's crazy.
And you know, because every deal is so different, you never hear occasional stories, but every deal is so different. And like you already know with the things that we've been through just in the 3 years that we've, you know what I mean, been doing this together or whatever. And it's like there's so many things, and there's not any book in real estate that would even have the time, like, you know, to break down some of the things we've seen or dealt with or how we've saved deals or lost money. But those lessons, I mean, it's just tuition, right? Like you have to learn those, like you said, it's like growing pains. Like
that's crazy how many variables, you know, are attached to one single deal. Like just so much can go wrong. Like it's insane. But
and like you said, if you're surrounded by the right people and you have confidence, you can get a deal done. Because even I remember you asking me, I'm like, yeah, I can get this done, and I had no idea if I could get it done, but I did. So, you know, it made me believe myself more. And so you know, we've been doing deals, and then how long after that did you decide to go full time and stuff like that? So we met. I know we did that deal, and I think we did a few more.
Yeah, I think we did like three deals, and then we just had that amazing like month or 2 months or so where we popped like 2 20s and it's like a 15 or something like that. And that was again another time of proof, you know, that I had proof that it works and proof that I could leave a full-time job to do this full-time. You know, because I mean, I think we had the same headspace, you know, like if I quit my job, we'll both be full time. And that's just more energy, more time, more brains towards one specific goal, you know, versus me being part time and everything. So after those deals, you know, I had a good amount of savings. And after you being in my ear and just me talking with my wife, Chasten, we figured out it was the right time to hit the ground running and everything. And bro, I was the worst employee. Once I realized in my head that I was gonna leave the job. That last month, I was late every day. Like it was bad. It was very
Yeah.
bad. Like, I feel bad.
Yeah. And what would you say though for somebody that's maybe thinking about quitting their job? Maybe they've done a couple of deals, because I know it was hard, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely a pusher, like you know what I mean, which is good and bad, right? But it worked out as it always does. But you know,
Yeah.
what advice would you give? Because I think you did it the smart way. I just kind of up and quit, didn't really have any savings or a plan. You know
Yeah.
what? Looking back, would you do the same thing, or you know, what are some tips maybe you could give to somebody thinking about quitting or going full time? Maybe they've never even done a deal.
Got you. So yeah, honestly, man, you definitely need some kind of cushion. You know, definitely look at your finances. Maybe go back the last 6 months and look at the average out. You know, about how much you need to survive off of, and a little sum. You know, each month. And I would say have double that. You know, maybe have a year's worth or so before you actually leave the job. Just in case, because you never know. You know, not everybody, unfortunately, not everybody's going to make it. Not everybody's going to survive, you know, because I mean, it takes work. You know, you have to have consistent deals coming in, consistent offers, consistent leads, consistent everything. You got to be on point. And if you just knock 2 or 3 deals off and then just leave your job without any planning, that could be risky for sure. For sure.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. And
Yeah.
those days when you have doubt and you have no money,
Man, those are tough. Those are tough. No calls to make, you know, no emails coming in from the title company.
yeah, right. It gets rough. And then that's the same thing. I always tell people I probably should have kept my job for like 6 more months. So,
Yeah.
you know, definitely, and especially if you have a family, right? Because we ate a lot of ramen. And
Absolutely. And also, with the qualifying too for loans, that's one thing I kind of regret. I hate to say the word regret, but I mean, shit, I do kind of regret that part of things, not taking advantage of my W-2 income to qualify for these loans. You know, even though they do have, you know, these non-QM loans, I mean, to take advantage of the rates, especially now, I mean, I would definitely try and soak up as many loans as possible while I have that W-2 income coming in and everything.
gotcha. And so, you know, obviously I know, but we went from wholesaling to doing like some other things. Can you talk a little bit about that transition and, you know, uh,
Absolutely.
and end goals now where we're kind of, you know, fast forward to where we're at and what we're trying to do?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say, bro, probably the first year or so, we were specifically wholesale minded. You know, every deal that came in, boom, what can we get it under contract for? What can we sell it for? Only until I would say once we went and saw Jesse in Phoenix, you know, that's where we really got the flipping bug, where he said, hey, why not have a flip going on? Maybe like once a quarter or something, you know, keep your contractor working and shit like that. So ever since then, I think not even a month after we left Phoenix or something, we had our first flip going on, and it was it was a perfect first flip too. Simple
Yeah, it
town
really was.
and everything. I mean, I think we got it for like 60 something, put like 10 into it and sold it for something like 90 or something, 95.
Yeah.
But that was our first time we actually did something outside of wholesaling. And then boom, we picked up another one in the same area, Portobello. That's when we realized, hey, we can start sprinkling a little flips here and there, you know, and now we have it to where those flips pay for our marketing. So we're not having to take money personally out of our pockets to market and keep the business going. And that, I mean, that just transitioned to other things, you know, meeting other private lenders, being able to take deals down, you know, without having to go directly through a bank. And then we got into wholesaling. You know, we realized that's a whole nother animal that makes all the sense in the world. I mean, people can literally focus completely on wholesaling and make a shit ton of money. Like literally, if that was their sole business model, you know. So we saw the power of that. We started doing hotels. To this day, I think we've done like 5 or 6 or 7-ish hotels. And that's literally, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, that's literally you're buying a property, either private money or hard money, or even cash, doing very minimal to none repairs and putting it on the market. So you have like a shit ton more buyers, all the eyes on the MLS, you know, on your property versus just shooting out to your buyers, you know, like a regular wholesale.
Yeah, I think that was like for me, bro. I would just say because our first one went so well. I won't say smooth, right? We still have jokes about that house, like, and it's been 5 years. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, we still learned a lot, but the fact that we took a house that we got for $30,000, which is
Oh,
insane, that you know what I mean? You can buy a house that cheap,
yeah.
flooded, and we still relisted it as is. You did the pictures, and we did like 30 grand in like 4 weeks. Like that was just like a really big eye opener, like you said. Like,
Yeah, that was when we realized like, hey, we need to start looking at deals differently, analyzing them a little differently, cost of money, cost to resell and everything. That's when we started doing spreadsheets and everything. But yeah, that was a great first hotel. I forgot about that one specifically. Like
bro,
that
I
was
would never forget that. The Obama picture, Jody, everything, bro. Like, there were so many things about that house. Like, I
yeah.
swear, I really do wish I still had the Obama picture, bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
know, man. And then we found an Obama,
what was it, a rug or something?
yeah,
Like,
at Galesburg in Sunnyside.
yeah,
Yeah.
Obama is always with us, guys. Like, I don't know. We've bought like several houses that have Obama memorabilia,
Yeah, it's
but no, like,
crazy.
I think, like you said, because I think the whole point that I wanted to do this is because I need people to start thinking long term. That's
Yeah,
always like my message of preaching. And,
absolutely.
especially us having families, I think we've always thought about the end goal and how much money and like work it takes to wholesale. And we realize, like, and me, I'm lazy as fuck, bro. So I don't want to be doing this in, maybe not even 5 years, but damn sure not 10 years. Uh,
Correct.
and like you said, we're getting these really good deals. When did you start? I mean, I think I know the answer would probably be
Yeah,
page, but when did you start thinking like long term and like longer than that, like not even flips?
absolutely. So I think, I mean, you hit around the head, PageWick. That was your first rental. That's when we really started realizing, hey, we can start holding on to these and start creating generational wealth, for us personally, not just the business. Yeah, we want the business to succeed and it will succeed, but we have to obviously think about ourselves, our families, our wives, our kids, and everything. So yeah, once you got your paycheck one, it was my turn. That's when I started looking into money, hard money loans, all that stuff to be ready for the next one that hit the table. And fortunately, I think it wasn't even a year after that, right? It was like some months or something.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say probably like 4 to 6 months after it
Yeah,
was
I got
your
it in
rental.
October.
October. Okay, yeah. So we closed on PageWick in I think March of that year, February,
Okay.
March, maybe even April.
So yeah,
So
not
not like you said, about 6 months, 6, 7 months.
yeah.
We got that deal, and I was like, bro, I think you need to keep this one.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, that one made a lot of sense. All in with getting you your fee as well. All in with the rehab. It needed like a $4,000 rehab. I was at about $85,000. That's with closing and everything. And it appraised at 151. So
Yeah,
it was
it's
a
like,
great
and it's hard for people to think when it's like we could have probably just relisted that house
easy.
and made, a quick 30 or 40,
Yeah.
but instead we made it a win-win too. Like I love the business relationship that we have. I
Yeah.
love the person that you are and the person that I am, because we're both very honest, man. And
Correct.
we've never really had, knock on wood, any issues or anything. We've never done any agreements. Like, we've just, you do
Yeah,
what you
that's
say you're
crazy.
gonna do and I'll do the same. And we work well like that.
Yeah.
So, with you, like every rental, you pay me a fee, I pay you a fee. We
Right
just
on.
make it work for each other, and we still make it make sense where you can make money and you're creating wealth, because people are like, well, you could make 30 or 40, but it's like, now you have, same with PageWick, 60, 50, 60 grand in equity. Your
Yeah.
net worth just went up, and now you can take that to leverage to buy more houses or land or trailer, like anything we want to
Yeah.
do, right? We legit, I feel like, started playing real life Monopoly in the last like 2 years, and we're just getting
Absolutely.
started.
Yeah, literally just getting started. I mean, shit, I wish I had this mindset when I was like fucking 18 years old, bro. Like it would have
Right.
been insane, man. But yeah, I mean, so after that first rental that I got, I mean, that's where my goals really started changing, really seeing this and what this asset can do for my family. Not to mention the cash flow, the appreciation, and the tax benefits. There's so many benefits to owning this real estate, just it's crazy. And it's just something that people, I feel like, should think about more. Just like you said, just the long term, the long run type stuff, for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro.
Yeah.
And like you said, especially when you have a family, and then when you see, I like, and we talk about this, like people that we know that's been wholesaling for years and they still don't own anything, or fix and flippers. Like there's a guy in our market that flipped for years, did a bunch of flips, never kept anything. And like
Yeah.
now that's his business model. But it's like, what if you would have kept one of those 100 or two
Correct.
or three at the prices? And
Yeah.
luckily, too, you know, with having more deals coming in, we don't have to, you know, stress over, do we want to wholesale? Do we want to flip? You know, that's by spending more money and doing more deals, you're doing yourself a favor, because then you can start to look and buy and hold. And you know, now like, what are we, if you want to talk about the future, like what we're trying to do as well, because like now that's definitely, the goals have changed, right? Like they always do.
Absolutely. So are you talking about the little air thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, as you guys, I don't know. Well, I'm sure you guys know TJ, the Airbnb goat here in Houston. Basically, Derek and I, we're literally trying to follow in his footsteps. We currently have a deal right now. It's in Fifth Ward. If you're familiar with Houston, you know that's a very gentrifying area, just a lot of potential. And our plan is to get into the Airbnb space, you know, and just start that avenue. You know, we don't know it fully, but we're going to figure it out. You know, we're projected to close in about 20 days at the end of the month. A few little title issues, but we're going to figure it out. We already created a business entity and everything. You know, we don't know the first or the second step to Airbnb, but we're going to figure it out for sure. And it's going to be another stream of income. And that's like the end goal. You know, as many streams as we can get, we're gonna get them. You know, we're gonna make it happen. So
No, 110%. And I think the beautiful thing about real estate is like we both started on like one thing and we focused on that. And then when we felt comfortable taking, you know what I'm saying, a couple more steps, then we did that. But I think it's critical that you said that, you know, we don't know what the fuck we're doing either. Like we're just learning, right? But we have enough smart people around us, enough resources, and we've gotten comfortable doing deals where we feel very successful in our ways. And then you know, there is no downside to it, right? I mean, the only downside is we may have to bring more money out of pocket or something like that. But in the equity that we're going to capture and over the next couple of years, it just makes sense. Why, you know, why wouldn't you take chances? Why wouldn't you grow, right? And other businesses as well, not just that, online businesses, you know, everything that we're trying to get into. You know, it's just crazy how life works, and we all start on this one little thing that kind of grows.
Dang.
Now it's like, you know,
That's crazy when you think about it like that. You know, just starting from little old raggedy little wholesaling, you know, into flipping, hoteling, rentals, and now Airbnb. You know, who knows what's next? New construction, shit. I'm trying to build a small community, you know, in the hood somewhere. So I mean, you know, it's just crazy, the possibilities and everything. So.
No, yeah, I think you know, it's just that old quote of, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Yeah. And, you know, and I think that's what else is dope about what we do is, because I don't consider us gurus, if anything, gurus, but more of just guys that are just sharing the journey and showing what we're learning along the way.
Yeah.
And just trying to give back, you know what I'm saying? And because the people that we've seen, you know, there's a lot of people saw Steven, but people haven't seen the other 10 JV deals that we've done with people that it's been their first deal. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%, my man. And I think social media kind of hurts that as well, because everybody think, like in my DMs, everybody is thinking I'm a professional, like I know everything 100%. You know, and it baffles them when I tell them, hey, you know, I don't know much about the house, you know.
Yeah.
How do you estimate repairs? I don't, you know, honestly, I kind of just ballpark it, you know, and just
right.
Other people figure it out for me, you know. That's their job. If they're gonna buy it, they're gonna do their own due diligence, you know. Just little shit like that.
And I think when you're newer too, you know, this is just to be real with, if anybody's new, you can't be so skeptical. Like, and I was the same way, right? When you're new, you're so skeptical about everything, right?
Yeah.
Until you get that check and you feel it yourself and go through a deal all the way through. It's really not real yet, I don't think. And so you're
Yeah.
so skeptical. So like people, like you said, the DMs are stupid, and like the questions that we get, and it's like, first off, you probably could have Googled this question. And
Oh,
then should you even be worried about this? Like, you know, if you're new, if someone's like brand new, what do you think they should be focused on? Like if they haven't done a deal or they're just starting today, what would you say do, or, you know, what should they be doing to get a deal?
honestly, I mean, they need to be focusing on marketing. I feel like that is the lifeline of your company. Or if you're just a solopreneur, you don't even have a company, marketing in general. You know, you have to find these deals somehow. They're not just going to fall into your lap. But what will fall into your lap, once you find that deal, you're going to easily find a buyer if it's a deal, you know. So don't worry about all the little other variables, the logistics. Just get the deal under contract. And if it's a real deal, it's going to sell. You know, you're going to find a title company, reach out to a local wholesaler and ask them, hey, where do you close your deals at? You know, it's that simple. And you'll get it sold. So I would definitely focus on marketing, texting, cold calling. You know, it's some lot of cheap ways you can get a homeowner's attention, literally, even door knocking. I mean, that's completely free. So just put in the
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I also don't think people realize how easy it is now compared to like when we got started. Well, like there wasn't these groups or two random dudes that's giving you a day a week to just teach you real estate, right?
Yeah.
There wasn't, you know, like I said, the Facebook groups. Like you could literally we had bigger pockets, but now it's like you can hop in a local Facebook group and ask a question or for a reference and get an answer, like 10 different answers or 10 of the same answers,
Easy.
depending on if you're asking for a reference. And like you said, I think people think that they have to like, you know, reinvent the wheel. And it's like real
Yeah.
estate's been around forever. Like, but the one thing that they don't tell you is how much work it, like you said, I think it's gonna take.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's not easy, you know, for everybody that's new out there, it's not easy. I know scrolling through your Instagram feed or Facebook feed, it looks easy, especially when you see these checks and people talking about, oh, you know, I spoke to 10 sellers, got 10 people under contract, sold 10 deals, made $1 million. It's hard work. You know, it's definitely not a cakewalk at all. So you're going to get doors slammed in your face, a lot of fuck yous. Just got to be ready for it and everything. So
Yeah, no, definitely build up that armor. This shit, like I posted yesterday, you know, the beautiful thing about real estate is the week will not last. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
Because if you've been in this, I mean, especially like now, as long as we have, it feels like you're an old man in the game, bro. If you make it
yeah,
past 4 years, like we're going, I know me personally, I'm going on year 5, and
yeah.
I'm starting to get gray hairs, bro. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's a journey, bro. And even when
Yeah.
you think you have it figured out, right? Like the
That's when
game.
you get hit. That's when you get hit in the jaw when you think you coasting, you know everything, and boom, what do I do now? Like shit. Like it's real life for real.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. So I before we get out of here, what is something that if you could look back or if you could do different, you know, it doesn't even have to be real estate related, because I know personal development is big. Like what are some things that maybe have helped you stay on track or even not give up, right? Have the will and the tenacity to keep going.
Yeah. So first thing, I just want to say, if you're gonna lose relationships, you know, if you decide to go full
Mm.
time into real estate, that's
What
something.
type expand on that? Like what type of relationships?
I mean, so for me personally, you know, I have lost a few friends because before I got into real estate, you know, yeah, I was going out every once in a while. I could have been a better husband, just being completely real, you know, because I wasn't focused. I didn't have an end goal. I was literally living weekend to weekend, day to day, you know, with no focus or anything. And at that time, you know, I had a lot of good friends, you know, not a lot. My circle was still small. But I would say I probably lost 2 or 3 really good friends that just don't understand my goals, you know, that I can't go out with them. I can't text them all day, you know, memes and shit like that. It won't fly. Like I won't get where I need to be if I continue to do that. So I wish I would have realized that from the jump, you know, and but I mean, I know now and everything is cool. You know, I'm rekindling those relationships, but that's something people have to understand that's going to happen. And even family, you know, I know you with your family or a few members don't really understand, your journey and what you've gone through, what you're going through. And same here, I have a few that don't understand it 100%, and don't really agree with it 100%. But it's just a part of the process. So just stay focused and you'll be good.
Yeah. No, and I think, bro, you hit the nail on the head. I was talking to, I had to meet Steven to give him that leaseback check.
Oh, yeah.
And I was talking to him because, same with me, not to put his business out there, but I feel like all the good people have a fucked up life or family, right?
Yeah.
And we're good people because we've seen all the bad, right? But we were just talking about obligation, right? And, a lot of people, they feel like because it's family or because it's friends or because you've known this person for this long, that you're obligated, you owe them something, right? Whether it's your time or your knowledge or money, whatever it could be. But one thing I was telling him, and I'll tell anybody that's watching, is like, you don't owe anybody a fucking thing but yourself. Because people they do not realize is that if you take care of yourself, you can take care of everybody else, right? Like if you take care of Ben, you can be a better dad, a better husband. And I think people also don't realize, like, if someone's not adding to your life, they're taking from it, right?
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And that's, I didn't have, like, early on in my journey, I didn't have a lot of positive influences in my circle at all. Like I don't know. I wasn't going out of my way to try to find them, only until I realized how important that was. Did I start going, to meetups and just reaching out to individuals who I see have success, just asking them questions, trying to provide as much value to them first, of course, before I just piggybacked off their answers or anything. But yeah, having those positive reinforcements in your corner, in your circle, will definitely help you out, at least early on, for sure.
Yeah. No, and I think environment, bro, it's so huge. Like taking it to a biological or nature level, it's like plants and flowers, and that they can, certain things cannot grow unless they're in the perfect condition. And it's the same with humans. We need to be better. We need to be surrounding ourselves with better people. We need to be around people better than us. We need to, take down that ego, ask questions, be humble. And I think something that we're really good at is adding value to other people, and not just wholesalers or investors, but sellers in general, bro. Like things that people would never do. We have legit done it. Like, and if you guys follow the stories, like you see it live, like.
Yeah, it's really crazy how many sellers we've helped out, who have just been basically fucked by other investors, other wholesalers that didn't take them serious. It's just crazy how many deals we've closed like that. And I feel like that's a good talking point with sellers too. It builds credibility. It makes us look, and they understand how honest and genuine we are. Perfect example yesterday, with Homegirl and everything, the conversation we had, just talking about what we've done in our past and everything to help these sellers out. And she understands we're real. That's why we're about to buy 2 of her properties.
Yeah. No, literally. And I think people, they can smell the bullshit. And people are used to getting called. There's a reason why she was agreed to meet with us, right? There's a reason why people sell us homes and they trust us, even though we don't look like them. We're half the age. And I think it goes back to, the simple lesson of just doing what you say you're going to do, which is if you did that one thing in every area of your life, you've already set yourself apart from 99% of people.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, my man. 100%. Yeah.
Just keeping the word. So last thing, what do you think's the craziest deal that we've done, bro?
Oh, dang. I would have to say Mickey, Peach Springs. I feel like with Eartha, I feel like that was a time-consuming, energy-consuming deal. Like it just took so much out of us. I feel like, honestly, man, you got the brunt of that dealing with the lawyer. Even though I dealt with the crackhead, I still feel like I know that was tough. Being cursed out by lawyers.
It was a team effort all around. And the reason I asked, because I figured you were going to say that, because I had memories pop up, because it was this time last year. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. So this time last year that we closed, I think it was October or beginning of November, that we closed that deal, which we started in May of that year. So that just shows And maybe I'll have to repost that so people can see what we're talking about. But crackhead sister, lawyer, shitty lawyer. I got kicked out of his office. We went to court with the family. We evicted them. We paid this lady. Bro, yeah, she appealed the eviction and won. Then we had to go downtown. Bro, we paid her rent for like that whole time. Like, God's work, bro. So if I could say anything, it would be, do what you say you're going to do and take care of people. Yeah. And we still made money, but that was one of the best learning lessons. You know what I'm saying? That we
not everybody would have made it through that deal. Like people would have fell off like after a couple of months and realizing all the bullshit that was going on. Like for real, we held on.
Absolutely. Well, dope, man. Well, I appreciate your time, guys. I'm trying to be consistent. I know we took last week off, but every Wednesday in the group, we're going to be doing a live next week. We're going to be talking with my man Ferris. He's a good friend that Benjamin and I both know. He just did a big deal. So we're going to be breaking that down for you guys and going through his story as well. Because he's another one of those amazing people that we've met and we've done deals with. We sold deals for him. That's the best type of people, right? That you can do business and make money. So yeah, guys, every Wednesday night, we were doing Thursdays, but every Wednesday night at 7:30 Central Standard Time, tune in. We're going to be doing a new live every week. And then, I'll probably turn these into a podcast as well so you guys can re-listen. But I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate your time as always.
Most definitely, my man.
All right, good deal.
All right, bro.